Hi there, I am Abigail Morrison, and this is my module for Understanding My Community, Jefferson Elementary and Great Bend School District. To start us off, I'm going to talk about the customs and traditions we have here in Great Bend. Great Bend does a lot with their schools and their family communications and getting the families involved. We have new family orientation or new family night where we discuss what goes on within the district and the individual schools. These normally take place in the school's gym where that new family will be attending. We have open houses, homecoming week, and parades, also with some pep rallies. That's a pretty common one amongst, I believe, really pretty much every school district. Red Ribbon Week is huge, especially across the elementary schools. Volleyball and prom are more geared towards your high schools, but they do parades for the elementary schools. They video it and they send it out so all of the elementary school children, the girls especially, can see all the pretty dresses. Mr. Perfect Panther has been a long time history here in Great Bend, where the boys get to compete. It's pretty comical. They have to go through the questions and answers. They have to do an act. It's definitely a very fun event, and the community really enjoys it. The All-Star basketball game, that is a community welcomed event. That is where the athletic coaches take on the student body. These are the kids chosen that do not play sports. And it is quite fun, and the crowd is that of a home game. Field days and outdoor movies are both very popular events that are put on by our PTO. They are also geared towards getting family relationships within those families inside the school. Our population and demographics, we are 52% female and 48% male here in Great Bend. When it comes to our degrees and our education within the community, let me move my, sorry. Our high school diplomas are 84%. Bachelor's degrees are roughly 17. We have a very high percentage of associate's degree as well. Since we have the Barton Community College here in Great Bend, there's a lot of students that will go there first and receive their associates. Our graduate degrees are that of 5.6%. Our occupations mainly around this area would consist of construction, farming, labor-intensive work. We have quite a few males that do tech schools, it seems like. Females, a lot of us are educational, sales, clerical work, that type of professions. Race here in Great Bend, white 73.6. Our Hispanic race is that of 1.6, but if coming to the town, our Hispanic population is quite large. That number was even a little shocking to me after diving into looking at what our numbers for our community were. Community groups here in Great Bend, let me move this again. We currently have our PTO, which is our parents' organization within the schools, helping the schools with fundraising, events, dinners, special occasions. We have a booster club that is geared towards the high school. The booster club will reach out to the elementary schools and middle school and get the children involved with what's going on as the Panthers kick off athletics. Multiple church groups. They're also within the building. They utilize some of the gyms. A lot of our children are involved in those groups. MOPS is one thing that is new. It is moms of preschoolers, and there is MOPS Next, which is moms of older students. This is basically a church group that allows support for those first-time moms and those moms of teenagers. Everyone needs it, right? Boys and Girl Scouts are big here in Great Bend. Little League athletic groups, I think those are popular everywhere. It seems like on Friday you will see more and more little Panther jerseys worn from those little guys getting out and becoming involved. Barton Community College is another one. That is a very big backing to Great Bend. The college is involved in quite a bit, and they send their students into the schools quite a bit. So it's nice to see the college giving back to the community as much as the community supports the college. Communication channels, we use the newspaper. The Great Bend Tribune is our main one. The radio is 104.3, the KVGB. Social media, every school has their individual Facebook pages. Facebook is really the only social media platform that Great Bend uses. Twitter accounts is just geared towards the athletics. The head coaches are the ones in charge of the Twitter accounts. Seesaw is in the classrooms, and the district also has a website that has all of the information used for the schools and also the information for the public. The gentleman below right here his name is Patrick Burnett. He is the voice of the Panthers. He is very well known through the community, and he also spends quite a bit of time within the schools getting to know these students of all ages. So it's good to see him as a public figure as well. Leadership within the town. Local businesses are huge influencers, school board members, and the city council. The general public, for the most part, Great Bend is very much a majority wins type of community. What the majority want is what the majority gets. We are a pretty relaxed community, depending on the topics, but there's not enough time to get into all of that. Social media, I feel like social media can either be good or bad. Social media is also where a lot of opinions come from, but for the general public, they receive a lot of information on social media. A lot of press releases and things will get sent out on Facebook, and so sometimes social media is for a win. Political structures. Our school board members are made, they work hand in hand with our superintendent and our assistant superintendent. Our administration answers to the superintendent and assistant, and then we answer to administrators. There's kind of a little pecking order there, and that seems sometimes the communication can get a little wishy-washy, but overall they do a very good job. When it comes to our town as a whole, the mayor and city council work hand in hand. The city council often reaches out to the business owners and then the general public. It's the same type of thing, general pecking order. That correlates with our article. But overall, there's a lot of working together, especially with the city council and the school board. All those meetings are open to public, and they are also advertised when and where. Economic conditions. Great Bend is the biggest surrounding town. I guess we are the biggest one of the surrounding towns. Let me rephrase that. We have the Walmart, we have the Red Barn, Marmy's, Ventures, and Empire. Those are some very big businesses here in Great Bend that often employ a lot of people. Also, feedlots, farming, and the co-op are also big employers. Those also draw in the most income for Barton County. Barton County also is huge in oil field, hunting and wildlife with the Cheyenne Bottoms. We bring in a ton of outside people coming into Barton to hunt. The average household income is about $47,500. With the economic conditions, it goes up and down, especially us being an oil field town. We can kind of see when, things are good, things are bad. And I think that's about everywhere. It's just, and especially even with farming, it kind of goes in waves. Social tensions, just like everyone else, the old COVID-19. Masks and vaccines, woo, I don't even really want to talk about it. I feel like everyone else is, but everyone's getting through it. Those are our two biggest ones right now, along with remote learning, homeschooling, and in-person schooling. Great Bend right now does not offer remote. We did not have very many students go to homeschooling, but we did have a few. Another big one we just had recently was school bonds. The voting process, the mail-in ballots, it was interesting. It was interesting to get to see how bonds work in person. Also, the gender identity, we are starting to see that in elementary schools. And so that's something new coming up. And I know we are not the only one seeing it. And then social media as a whole, I don't know about you guys, but the new TikTok trend of taking things from teachers' classroom is starting to come around. It hasn't hit elementary, but it has hit the high school. So those are kind of some of the things that are impacting our schools currently that we are battling. Previous community efforts, like I said earlier, the bonds. Here last year we put out a bond, the school district did, for school updates, and we do not have a district preschool here in Great Bend, and so that was a part of the bond. It did not pass. It was actually a very dwelling conflict here in Great Bend because it was going to raise the taxes quite a bit, and the community did not like that, and the community spoke, and it didn't work. They did go ahead and make a little change, and they did implement Little Panthers preschool and slash daycare. The daycare is for district employees. We lack daycare in Great Bend. That is a very big problem. And preschool, so they combined them. Quite a few staff love it, and I think it will grow as the years go on. Power structure. Large businesses here in Great Bend, they have a lot of say. Money wins. I even talked to some people in the community about this slide, this little portion of it, and they all agreed. We have some very big businesses that have some very deep roots in this community, and they have a lot of say of what goes on. And I think we're not the only ones. I think that's kind of everywhere. Here recently we had the large political divide, but I kind of think that was nationwide. But for the most part, the community sticks together, and the community supports one another, especially between the community and the schools. Multicultural issues. We are big on the Christian faith here. We acknowledge Easter, Good Friday, and Christmas here at the schools. Lent is another one. We offer different lunches for those students. We do have a large Hispanic culture. I know Great Bend does Cinco de Mayo very big here. We actually shut down half the town and allow the Hispanic culture to celebrate. And actually, everyone in the community really goes and celebrates and joins them, which is pretty neat to see because those barriers are being broken down. Everything really is Spanish, English. Translators are in the public, translators are in the school. So overall, the community is really trying to join together and support one another. Public opinion. The school board meetings are open to the public. As always, they're always advertised. Surveys. After the kids leave high school, they take a survey, and they were, if they were prepared for college, which is kind of neat to see coming back. Communication, which we talked about in the last assignment. Effective communication, how can we reach out to the parents the best way? General feedback, we have had surveys to the public on how the school system, what they see fit, how it's working, just their general feedback on how things are running. City council meetings have been streamed. City council meetings have been posted on Facebook. The minutes are always updated both on the website and on their Facebook page to keep the community aware of what is going on, what's being done, and how changes are going to be made within the community. Overall, I feel like Great Bend does a good job on trying to keep everyone in the loop and how the school systems work. It is just like any other place. Everyone has their flaws. Everyone has their strengths. I think it just depends on what we make of it. Great Bend works very hard on keeping everyone going, especially with getting new people in Great Bend and new people within the schools and giving them those leadership roles to try and help be involved, especially with new students. That can always be a scary thing. So thank you and good luck to everyone.